Three Februaries ago, we arrived at Atamai. We sold our house in Christchurch. We had experienced a number of earthquakes in Christchurch that had shaken us up to a degree, but it wasn't the impetus why we left Christchurch. We left Christchurch because we wanted to be here in the village. And we haven't looked back since we got here. We haven't had time to look back since we got here. It's been so exciting and so many things that we've been doing here.
So we've been here for 3 weeks on site, but we've been involved in village life for about a year now from afar, and we've had a chance to come down every once in a while, but we decided on a section last year when we visited, and we just fell in love with the place, and now we're here.
We wanted our kids to grow up in a natural surrounding, not in a pretend natural surrounding in the suburbs of Christchurch. We didn't want them to be exposed to, you know, the big screen lifestyle, the experiencing life behind something artificial. We wanted them to breathe the real fresh air and to engage in the environment around them directly.
The structures of community that lasted over the centuries, over the millennia, were villages. Small groups of people, 200 to 500 strong, who knew each other, cared for each other, worked with each other, and provided that support through the generations. We've currently got about 10 families, 11 families, last count, 40 plus people. We've got the capacity for another 50 families, and if you're looking at a population of around 200 to 300 people, that's really what the capacity of the village would be.
The one thing that we found that eased us into moving here was that people here are resonant in their thinking. And everyone here, you don't have to explain to them why you're here. They know why you're here. But in Christchurch, it was almost a struggle to keep educating people about the things that we were finding out, about peak oil, about the necessity to think about how we could live sustainably, understanding the whole problem about carbon and energy and water footprints. That's not so much a problem here. People understand that. You almost don't have to talk about it because we're here to create the solutions that come out of those problems. So it's very encouraging to be here and to be part of the matrix of solutions rather than to be constantly trying to define what the problem is. And yeah, it's very comforting to be in this surrounding.
To me, not only do I get these spontaneous and genuine interactions with people, but I might be walking by someone's house and then, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm laying bricks. Oh, do you want to help me? Oh, yes. So last weekend, I spent 3 or 4 hours learning how to lay bricks, which is something I would never have gotten planned to do. But because of this network of, there's the spontaneous and genuine interactions with people, unplanned, but then there's also this idea that everyone is working on getting their skills up and upskilling in different ways, in different things. So it could be scything, it could be bricklaying, or it could be gardening or whatever. And it's this emphasis on living in a future where cheap energy might not be so plentiful. And so we'll have to rely on those kinds of skills. So to me, it's a high priority for me to learn those things before it becomes necessary to learn those things.
One of the big frustrations that we have, of course, we're trying to develop a new culture and a new lifestyle in terms of a post-carbon lifestyle. One that resonates with the land, one that has a low carbon footprint. But the problem is, of course, we're living in a very Western consumerist culture. We have to deal with local government, with national laws, and the cost of compliance with things in terms of construction is high, it's very high. So whereas a road that you could probably construct for $5,000 and it'd be quite adequate, costs $450,000.
I know there are thousands of people who would love to live at Atamai, but because this is a rural residential place, the sections have to be quite big, which means that they're expensive. And so for young families, or the sort of people that Atamai really wants to attract, a whole range of ages, for many people the big section is just not affordable. So we're sort of putting together the idea of the whole community aspect of Atamai and the co-housing idea, which is, for people who aren't familiar with co-housing, it's not like a whole bunch of people living in the same house, but everybody has their own individual private space for just about everything they need to do, but they share whatever they can, which is nearly always the laundry, often a big kitchen, and each house ideally will have a little kitchen where you can make most of your meals if you want to, but the co-housing group would get together for some of their meals, and obviously anything special if they want to have guests or something, they've got a big kitchen at their disposal. And what we're thinking here at Atamai is that we could get 4 to 6 households on one of these large sections.
The one thing that we're struggling with is, of course, money. I was made redundant about 3 months ago, and I was telecommuting to Christchurch, working through the internet back to Christchurch, to my former employer, who really had to give up me as an employee because they had cash flow problems. And by and large, those cash flow problems started in 2008 when the world economy crashed. And it's quite amazing that the company has lasted as long as it has, because it is their clients and the follow-on effect of all the clients that they have that has resulted in me eventually losing my job. So in essence, me losing my job in this environment has finalized our move up here, and now I can look forward to finding myself a local profession that could work sustainably in the long term. And I am hopeful that I will find such a thing that is resonant with me, but we've managed to achieve living here without a mortgage, and that's a huge plus in terms of finding how to live on the land here. And now I do not have to be a professional. I don't have to earn a professional income in order to sustain our lifestyle. I can be whatever I want to be, and that's an exciting prospect, something I'm still very much looking forward to.